this person speaking to me? You know, what sort of credibility does he have? Well, Dapo is a husband to his lovely wife Olamide, and I've heard him been privileged to hear him speak before. Almost every word he speaks, I always want to write it down and have it etched in my memory. And he's a father to two boys and a girl. He's the pastor of All Nations Evangelical Church, Dominion Ground in Essex. And he's passionate, he is really passionate about seeing Christians, discovering who they are, not just in Christ, but even growing and having impact, in the world that they live in. And he also has a burden for families and marriages to thrive, because we all know that the family is the bedrock of any nation. So he really wants to see marriages, he wants to see families prosper. And he's a teacher, a counselor, an author, and the lead coach at Revive International. So we just welcome Dapo on board for his session. We're so privileged to have you. Thank you so much for taking on this session, and we'll have the Q&A at the end of your session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very, very, very much, Nick. I really appreciate that introduction. I just want to thank everyone here tonight. I want to thank my brother, I call him Apostle James, for the honor given to me. It's a privilege that's not going to be and can never be taken for granted. And I also want to say a very big thank you to the previous speaker, Bala. In fact, I was just trying to write as much as I could write. There was a time I had to quickly pop into the loop. I quickly run. I just didn't want to miss any of the points. So thank you very much for that. I've been really, yeah, I can say I've been really blessed. There's nothing wrong in saying I've been really blessed. Yeah, and I've been impacted. I mean, yeah, let's say I've been impacted, I've been empowered, I've been inspired. And yeah, thank you very much. So without wasting much of our time tonight, I'm speaking on change, and that's the um, theme of the two-day conference, change. And before I move on, can you just do me a favor? You can type it out on the screen or just write it down. I want you to write your first name, write change, and then your second name. So like me now, Dapo, change, Odeleye. So I just want you to write down, to flex your fingers, to just get yourself, that word, change, Odeleye. Oh, thank you. I can see some, yeah, James, change, Adeyemi. So tonight, my mission is to create an awareness for change and a thirst for change in you. That's my mission tonight, and I hope I am able to do that. Um, I love the theme for the conference tonight, because one thing I've seen. Thank you very much, Ola Oluchenjo Pebi. One thing I've seen is we do get so much information nowadays, but the problem is we sit on the information without doing anything, and it's not helpful, it's not useful, it's not encouraging, it's not if you're going to talk to your child, you will say it is not nice. So it is not nice. So as the theme for this two-day conference is change, I want each and every one of us to go here from tonight, and even when you're coming back for the second day of the conference, I mean, you will have something that will have been probably the start of a change in you, or just as minute as it could be, a change that will say, okay, by the time you come in tomorrow, this is what you have noticed, or this is what you have started on. So I really appreciate the first speaker speaking on intentionality and the gaps. So like I said, I just want to create an awareness for change in us and a test for change. And I hope I'm able to share my slide. So let me just, yeah, oh, good. So that's me again. Yeah. That's my humble self. Dapo, Odeleye. I do few things, and just like we had, my passion is just for people to get excited to doing positive things. And I love the global impact, and that's why I always say that we are created to make an impact. And like I said, that it's an awareness for change and a thirst for change in you. I just want to show some statistics about change. This was a survey that was carried out amongst about 600 people by a professor in the United States. This was about 6 or 7 years ago. Um, they said just 34% of people could avoid change if they could. 34% of people, they just don't desire to change. They just don't want to change. And it says 32% say if they do not see immediate results for their efforts, they usually give up and do something else. 32%. Once they start something, and if there's no immediate result, they usually give up. And one of the things that sells most in the world today is quick money. Quick money, people doing different stuff just to put 500 pounds in, and in the next 5 days to get 5,000 pounds, or you put 1,000 pounds in, and in the next 1 month, they are giving you 100%. So that's why it's 32% says that's a big figure, that if they do not see immediate results, they just give up and do something else. And then another statistic says 21%, that is 4 people say they cannot accept failure if they try something and do not succeed. They cannot accept failure. And that was one of the gaps, the mistakes gap, that I am afraid of making mistakes. I am afraid of making mistakes. And 21%. So that's about as many as we are now. 21% of us cannot accept failure. So they just want to try it and to try it, and it works immediately. But what we don't understand is one reason people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. We focus on what we have to give up instead of what they have to gain. Like the previous speaker was speaking the other time, people would prefer to just sit down with a cup of wine or a glass of wine or a cup of coffee and just be watching the crowd rather than thinking about the benefits or the impact of reading one chapter of a book every week will do to them. And that's the problem, that no, I prefer to keep on watching the crowd every day. And thank God for this, what do we call them? The producers. They will do season 1, 200 episodes. Then before you are finishing season 1, they are already doing season 2, 200 episodes. So you are watching season 1, as you are finishing season 1, you are going to season 2. And at the end of the year, when you say, what have you actually gained from the season 1 as you are starting season 2? You could hardly even say, this is what I've gained. And that is one of the problems, that we focus on what we have to give up instead of what we have to gain. And the other thing is, we always forget that all great changes are preceded by chaos. Every great changes are preceded by chaos. That is a standard. It is a norm. It is a norm. And that's why we have one of the gaps as the mistake gap, that I am afraid of making mistakes. I am afraid of making mistakes. And it was good when Bala was speaking about Thomas Edison the other time, that did the light bulb. And they said that he tried it about 1,000 times. And when they were saying, oh, you've made some mistakes, they said, yes, he's known 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. There's another guy that I would like to just showed to us. It's somebody that we all know about. It's going to come up in a minute. It's Elon Musk. And this guy today, about a few weeks ago, he was the richest man on earth. He was the richest man on earth. But just look at his life story. Just look at his life story. In 1995, he set up this company. In 1996, he set up another company. In 1999, he set up, with his brother or friend, he set up PayPal. Then he crashed his car worth about £1 million. The company that he set up in 2000, he was ousted from the company. In 2001, he said vacation will kill you. That was when he almost died from a sickness. Then in 2001, he went into another project. In 2002, he went into another project. In 2006, he went into another project. In 2007, he went into another project. There was a massive explosion. In 2008, another project. 2008, December, 2013, 2015, 2016. That was when he started getting so much into Tesla. And now is probably the second or the third richest man in the world. The second or the third richest man in the world. Like I said, in January, he was the richest man in the world. He said that when he was in college, that he wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. He wanted to get involved. That was when he was in college. He wanted to get involved in things that would change the world. And today in the United States, he has a solar energy company. He's the second largest in the whole of the United States. Second largest. And what is, you see, there was a time they said he was struggling with building Tesla. Now, and his mission is to make Tesla a car for the common man. But now it's an expensive car. A few years ago, it was very expensive. Now the value for Tesla is coming down. His mission is to create change in the world. But don't forget where we started, that all great changes are preceded by chaos. All great changes are preceded by chaos. So what needs to change? What needs to change? Something needs to change, and it is probably me. It is probably me, and that is actually you. So I need to change. You need to change. And that was why I was so excited about the first speaker telling us about the intentionality to grow. And what is all about growth is to change. So I need to change, you need to change. Like I said, that it is my aim tonight I want you to leave this place and just want to desire to change, and just want to desire to do something with what you are going to take away from here tonight. I won't want you to say, yeah, well, I was invited to come to this conference, and oh, the first speaker was very good. Oh, the second speaker was very good. But 3 months down the line, what have you done with what you have taken from the two speakers? 6 months down the line, what have you done with the notes that you are taking tonight? Something needs to change, and it is you that needs to change. You that needs to change. Look at this. If you cannot be changed, you cannot create change. If I cannot be changed, I cannot create change. Like James was saying the other time, that there's going to be this transformational session, and Bala was using himself as an example. If he had not grown, there is no way they will be able to help any other person to grow. There will be no way. It is not possible. So if you cannot be changed, you cannot create change. And to change the world, your world must be changed, because change starts from within. If I want to change the world, and that was what happened to the guy that we were talking about, Elon Musk. He so much desire to change his world And you can see, they said that at the age of 12 years old, he trained himself in computer programming. At the age of 12 years old, his mother was a model, his father was either a teacher or something. So it wasn't that he was born into a family of computer programmers or into a family of computer scientists. No, that wasn't the case. But he just had the passion to create change in the world. And because of that passion that he had to create change in the world, he started changing himself because he knew that for him to create change, he must be changed. And he also had it at the back of his mind that for the world to change, because he had the passion to change the world, then his own world must be changed. And look at this. The longer you wait for change, the longer it takes for change to happen around you. The longer you wait for change, the longer it takes for change to happen around you. Sometimes we wait for our government to change our world. Sometimes, if you are a faith person, you wait for your church or your pastor to change your world. Sometimes wives will wait for their husbands to change or to change them. Vice versa. Or children will be waiting for parents to change them. But the irony of it is the longer you keep on waiting for change, the longer it takes for change to happen in you and around you. The longer. And the last bit is to change or initiate change, you must come out of your comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone. Every one of us, there's something that you just like to do. Like the previous speaker said, that he had to discipline himself to wake up early every morning. He had to discipline himself. One thing I always do is if I need to do something and I want to get into the habit of it, I use my phone, I use my scheduler at work. You just see everything to remind me. As I'm using the diary on the phone, I'm using my alarm on the phone, I'm using my scheduler at work. Sometimes I will write something and put it on my bookshelf just to see it. So if I miss it there, that one will remind me. If I miss it there, that one will remind me. What am I doing? I want to come out of my comfort zone because it's a comfort. That's why it's called a comfort zone. As you are here on the conference tonight, there's nothing wrong with you just sitting down at home, crossing your leg and just watching TV or just chilling on your sofa. There's nothing wrong. But you are here. That's an action. That's an initiation of change. But you are here tonight saying, instead of just sitting at home, I'd rather go and listen to that man speaking, talking about change. So to change or initiate change, you must come out of your comfort zone. And it's very good that we've been giving some practical steps by the first speaker. You've been given some practical steps to come out of your, that's why it's called the comfort zone. It's so comfortable, it's so convenient. You just want to sleep and you just want to rest and you just want to lay down, cuddled under the duvet, doing nothing. But to change or initiate change, you must come out of your comfort zone. Gandhi says, for things to change, I must be changed. This was Mahatma Gandhi. He said, for things to change, I must be changed. So I want you to go home with that at the back of your mind, that for things to change in my world, I must be changed. And for me to be able to change my world, I must be changed, because change begins with you. And then what is change? Is making a difference. Making a difference. And this is one thing I'm so passionate about, making a difference. I'm so passionate about it, making a difference, that you get in touch with one person, you make a difference in their life. You get in touch with a group of people, you make a difference in their lives. I always tell people, I said, if somebody comes to you crying, they must not go back crying. If anybody comes to you dejected, they must not go back dejected. If they come to you hopeless, they mustn't go back hopeless. That is making a difference. Making a difference. What is change? Making something become new. Making something become new. You transform a life. You transform a situation. You transform a home. You transform, some of us are battered to transform one person. Some of us are battered to transform a family. Some of us are battered to transform a town. Some of us are battered to transform nations. But not until the difference begins in you, not until something becomes new in you, it's not going to happen outside. That is change. Making something become new. It's changing course or direction. I'm going this way now. I need to change, then I need to go that way. I've been going, and when I was trying to get people to join the conference, I sent something out. I said, and it's a saying, it's a popular saying, that to keep on doing the same thing and getting the same results, you don't complain. That means that that person is mad. That is the definition of madness. Doing the same thing and getting the same result, and then you are complaining things are not moving on. That is madness. But that is why change is necessary. Changing course or changing direction. And then is making a shift. That's why I said that you come out of your comfort zone, making a shift from one to another. And I love it when Bala was speaking, and I just saw myself in what he was describing about. You want to start reading a book, put the book somewhere, and that's what I'll do. If I want to read a book, because I just have so many things done, but then I need to make sure that I get my priority right. I will put the book next to my bookshelf, next to my bedside, just so that anytime I want to sleep, I see the book. So if I've not read it yesterday, I will know I didn't read it yesterday, so I have to read the book today. The book is just there. Once I finish reading that, I push it into the bookshelf. The next one to be read, I bring it out, put it somewhere you can. It's all about making a shift from one to another. And that is change. Making a difference. Making something become new. Making a shift from one situation to another. And changing course or direction. 2021 is a year for every one of us to change. It's a year for every one of us, especially those of us that are on this call tonight, that are in this conference tonight. Change. The time for change has come. When I was invited to come and speak, and I saw the top, I was so excited. I said, yes, it's just simply change. So I haven't got any excuse not to change, because you have been shown the practical steps by Bala how to change. And then something has been put up that come and join this transformational program to change. So at the end of 2021, if nothing has changed in me, it's not God, the fault is yours. It's not the economy, the fault is yours. It's not the government, the fault is yours. It's not the politicians, the fault is yours. So change is changing course or direction. And look at this. Change is hard at the beginning. It's messy in the middle, but it's glorious at the end. It's glorious at the end. And you can take out change and impute growth. Growth is hard at the beginning because it will take you so much time to get into the habit of growth. It's messy in the middle. People will see that something is changing about you and they will think that your thinking is changing, but it looks like you are mad. The way you relate with them is changing. It looks like you are no longer normal. That is the messy bit of it. And when people begin to notice a difference in you, that means that yes, you are on the right path. And then the end is glorious. The end is glorious, but it is the beginning that is always hard. Like I said, I've come to create a task and an awareness in you. That's why I just want you to get up today and start the journey to change. You can't leave it any longer. You can't leave it till any longer. You can't just leave it. Something must change in you. Your family members must know that this man, this woman is on a journey to change. Your friends, your colleagues at work, even if you are a faith person, church, mosque, they must know that something is changing in you because the end is glorious. The end is glorious. And look at this. No change until you desire to change. Until you desire to change. And if I just take out desire, I can put in until you intend to change. Until you are thirsty for change. Until you are hungry for change. No change until you desire to change. Don't wait for anybody to motivate you to change. Don't wait for anyone to change you. Begin the journey. Begin to knock down the growth gap. It was so inspiring listening to the growth gap trap. It's a trap. I can avoid the trap. You can avoid the trap. You can get into a trap and come out. A trap will not kill you. Get into it, come out of it, learn the lessons, move on until you desire to knock down the trap. Until you desire, there's not going to be any change. Until you are motivated personally. Until you are personally motivated to change. You know, there's a saying that you can take a horse to drink water to the pond, but you can't force the horse to drink. You can't. James can put together conferences. The transformational programs can be put together, not until you desire, not until you are motivated. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And until you really want to change, you must really want to change. I must really desire that, oh, thank God I'm here tonight to know about the 8 growth gap trap. Then how do I begin to avoid the trap or knock down the trap or come out of each of the trap? Because we can't lie to ourselves. Every one of us, none of us is free of any of this trap. Some of us is the whole 8. Some of us is 4 out of the 8. Some of us, we are so perfect, it's just 1 or 2. But that is not the end of it. You can come out, I can come out. It is only until you really want to change. And this is just me. What motivates me daily is, number 1, the legacy I'm going to leave. This is me. And this is why I always want to change. This is why I always want to grow. I always want to develop. These 2 things are what motivates me daily. Sorry for the second if you are not a faith person, but because I'm a faith person. The first one is, what legacy am I going to leave when I'm gone? It always wants me to change. It always wants me to develop. Last year I was going to, I just thought that now I'm being seen as an expert, sort of. I don't see myself as an expert in an area, and people are coming to me for advice. No, no, no. I need to develop myself. I went for a course on it. I went for a course. I know I need to develop myself. And I went for a course because I could see that people are coming to me. So I just need to develop myself. This year, I'm already looking for another course to go into. We just started a radio station towards the end of last year. I just thought, no, you can't just start a radio station. You need to know a bit about radio. I went on YouTube trying to improve myself, trying to improve, okay, yeah, this is what a radio station is. What do you need to do? How do you need to do it? It's all about what legacy am I going to leave when I'm gone? What are people going to say about me? And it's not just only when I'm dead. You can be friends with somebody for 5 years, and then job might move you, career might move you, marriage whatsoever might move you. You have gone. What legacy have you left in that person's life? Who are you impacting? Who are you touching? That's what motivates me daily. And the second one is, where am I going to spend eternity? So if I'm going this way and I can see that I'm going the wrong, then I need to change, because that's what change is all about. Don't forget, I've come to create a task in you to change, to grow from tonight. You can't just keep on doing the same thing. You will keep on getting the same results. So this is what motivates me. I want you to go from here tonight, get home tonight, and say, what motivates me? Just 2 things, and begin to live by it every day. What motivates me? Am I walking in light? That could be your vision. That this is my vision for the rest of my life. It doesn't need to be 10. It can be 1. Elon Musk said, when I grow up, I want to do something that will change the world. That is what has been motivating him. And look at this. I got this from Action Against Hunger website. It said, around the world, more than enough food. Look at this. This is madness. More than enough food is produced to feed everybody in the world. But almost 700 million people are still hungry. There's enough food in the world, but about 700 million people are still hungry. Why would you not grow and change to impact somebody's life? Why would you not grow and change to look at the second one? The rate of children that are suffering from chronic malnutrition is 21%. Children age of 5 is 21%. I had a vision recently that I set something out for myself. I said in the next 3 years that I wanted to have a music school in Nigeria that will be training young people. The music school will be training young people. I set a target of 3 years. And then I said, oh, but 3 years, that might be too long. I said, okay, start from somewhere. I looked for a music school in Nigeria, and I found one, somebody that I trust, that I know. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to start with, this foundation, because the vision for the foundation is to have a music school where young people will be trained freely. I said, okay, instead of waiting for 3 years, I will start with 1 child every month. Because some change must just happen. There's so much malnutrition in the world, so much suffering, so much whatsoever. That's why you need to grow. That's why I need to grow. That's why you need to change. That's why I need to change. So that when you change, you go and change somebody. Like Bala was using his life as a testimony, as an example. And I was getting nuggets from it. Somebody else was getting nuggets from it. That is why you and I have been created. To get up, pull somebody up. Move on, get up, pull somebody up. Americans will call it, I bless you, pay it back. And look at this. This is me saying this. There's something you have that you think is insignificant, but is a lifeline to someone else. You think, oh, that's rubbish. It doesn't matter. But somebody's life depends on that thing. And look at this. When you begin to change and create change, you realize that you are someone else's life jacket. When you begin to change, think about that. You've got something that you think is irrelevant. It's a lifeline to somebody. There's somebody that has never worn a shoe in the world, but I've got 10, 20, and there's some that I've just not worn for the last 1 year. And not until I begin to change and create change, I won't know that I'm someone else's life jacket. So somebody's about to drown. Every one of us on this call tonight, you are someone's life jacket. So you need to change. You need to grow. And what needs to change about you? The success that you have already achieved. Don't be complacent. Don't be complacent. Success is a journey. It's not a destination. Success, it's a journey. If you see success as a destination, that's it. It's a journey. You must always improve on the success you have already achieved. Your circumstances must change. My circumstances must change. It must. My finances must change. There's this story about young children. They said, me, myself, and I. We must not live a life of, once I have enough money for myself, but there are some that needs your money. So your finances must change. Your condition must change. And it was good when the speaker started. Your spiritual, your career, those 5 areas, the skills that you've possessed, self-development, they must change. Don't be complacent. Don't be complacent. It must change. It must change. And what you focus on must change. What you focus on must change. And for change to happen, I need to change my thinking. You need to change your thinking. I need to change. You need to change my thinking. You begin to think outside of the box. You begin to think differently. Don't let situations box your thinking. Don't let background, don't let your present financial status, don't let your present educational status, don't let it box your thinking. People will say, think large, dream big, take one step at a time. Like I used my example the other time. If I have to wait for 3 years, that means that some children that need to benefit from musical training will wait another 3 years. But thank God that somebody is being blessed as we speak. So you change your thinking, your ideas, your actions, your influences, they are all product of your thinking. It is important to change your thinking. And I'm sure every one of us know that where we are today is the product of my thinking. Every one of us, where you are today is the product of your thinking. That's why you need to change your thinking for growth, for change to begin. And then harness your hope. Adopt hope. Harness your hope. Adopt hope. Change your thinking, then begin to be hopeful that I'm going to change my world. Just take off the garment of me, myself, and I, and have the mindset of I'm a world changer. There's a church like that in America. A world changers church. That must be your concept. That must be my concept. Have I touched someone's life today? Have I impacted somebody today? Am I growing? Am I improving? So you harness your hope, because the more you grow, the greater the influence you can make. The more I change, the more impactful I become. And then as I wrap up, hope for others. Just don't be hopeful for yourself. Be hopeful for others. Don't think about yourself alone. Think about people around you. How you can pull them up. How you can touch their lives. How you can assist them. How you can transform them. It's James I always say, be intentional. I got that from him. Be intentional about it. And this is me saying, hope is the birthplace for greatness. When hope dies, desire for greatness is aborted. Hope is the birthplace for greatness. When hope dies, desire for greatness is aborted. Be hopeful. Don't be hopeless. And in closing, this is John Maxwell. He says, we can make excuses or we can make changes, but we can't do both. I can continue to make excuses or I can begin to make changes. It is impossible to do both. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Dapo Odeleye. Thank you. One thing I